Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Did you been listen? I know some you said you made it one halfway through the episode on number two. All right, so I'm gonna do my best not to give a lot of spoilers to this. Shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. Welcome. We just got started. Let's go ahead and do a little intro, give people some time to get in here, get you a drink, do what you gotta do. I got this little what is it? Prebiotic little soda thingy. Supposed to be good for whatever is supposed to be good for. Shout out to everybody. Thank you guys for coming. Let me go ahead and get this little intro going, and we're going to hit the ground running right away. Let's go. All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, if you don't want to see if you don't want to get too many spoilers, you probably want to watch this on the replay. Diane says, when was this Piers Morgan interview? That was today. And it was, shout out to Popcorn Planet. I was there watching in the chat. And I mean, first of all, there was like 37,000 people in this chat while we were watching this. And then there was like, 10 times more on Piers Morgan's channel. But let me go back a little bit, all right? Let's talk about where this is at, what's going on and what this is about. On Netflix there is this like drama based up well, a true story drama. It's called Baby Reindeer, all right? And it's like the episodes are literally about 45 minutes, 35 minutes. I believe it's a total of 6. I watched it about 2 weeks ago, so correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, right? And why I got hooked is because I was hearing different things about just that people were looking for this woman. It's 7 total, thank you. It's 7 total episodes. People were looking for this woman that was in this specific docu-series, right? It tells the story of a man, and it's a very dark, um, stalker type of, um, what is it, Bunny Boiler type of docuseries that you're like, "Is this really true?" Or, like, "Did this actually really happen to somebody?" Come to find out that the person that's he's the writer, he's the creator, he's the one that's doing all of this, right? And showcasing all of what happened to him with this one specific woman and a series of pretty crazy events. It gets very dark. It deals in drugs, it deals in kind of the dark areas of your mind. There's rape, there's sex assault. It deals with a lot of that stuff. But a lot of this kind of like it really showcases one specific woman by the name of Martha Scott. That's the name of that was given to her on Netflix. When people say this is based on a true story or it's a true story, of course the internet's going to go find out, well, who's this Martha person, right? And they found her. They found her through a series of messages that she had posted many, many years ago to the person that this happened to. I want to show you at least 40 seconds of this to kind of get us started. And then we're going to get over to the real Martha, which is Fiona Harvey. The real Martha is Fiona Harvey. But for those that haven't watched it, I'm only showing you maybe 40 seconds of this, okay? This is where it starts.
It is a stalker story, but it's a stalker story with a twist. It's a stalker story done differently. Every now and again, I have these sort of giddy bursts of excitement where I'm almost like a kid back at school. And then I have these bouts of, oh my God, everyone's going to know my shit. Oh my God.
Just think of that, okay? Where he says, I get these giddy spouts of, oh, this is what's happening to me. And then I get this time where it's, oh my God, this is like my shit. This is really happening to me.
Everyone's going to know what happened to me.
All right. Okay. Let's talk about it.
41,071 emails, 350 hours of voicemail, 744 tweets, 46 Facebook messages, 4 fake Facebook accounts, 106 pages of letters, and 1 cup of tea.
I'm going to stop right there. This is how he's describing this stalker by the name of Martha Scott. Now, just imagine Netflix doesn't contact you. They don't say anything to you about somebody making a movie about a situation or something that you were, dealing with. And suddenly the internet goes and they find you, right? Your stuff is up on a Netflix docuseries. People are trying to figure out who is this lady? What is going on? It gets into things. It's definitely one of those bunny boilers. Okay. So this is the real life. Her name is Fiona. In the series, her name is Martha Scott. But this is her. This is who she is. This is who they're referencing, okay? Real life baby reindeer Martha says, I did not do jail time and is considering legal action. But yet the creator of this said that it was based on or was real true events. The way they portrayed this woman was like she's a stalker. She's a liar. She's got issues. There were different things that they were throwing out there. The real baby reindeer Martha reveals identity. It says, I did not do jail time. Baby reindeer's real life Martha is considering legal action over the show in which she is portrayed as a terrifying stalker. Scottish lawyer Fiona Harvey, who studied law in Aberdeen, now wants everyone to know what she has been through since her identity became public following the success of the Netflix show. Last night, Harvey told our sister title, The Daily Record, you have my authority to name me in the Daily Record. I give my permission to name me because people have to know what is going on. So let's get into Piers Morgan's interview today, which this thing is probably at the millions at this point because I haven't really updated this. Hold up, let me see. Let me refresh this. This thing was huge. I mean, it's past that. Look at that. So Piers Morgan decides to interview Fiona, the real Martha, okay, and ask her some questions. She comes out. You thought the interview was so weird? You said I saw her interviewing Piers Morgan's. I don't think Netflix wouldn't do their research. Huge. I don't think Netflix wouldn't do their research. Huge lawsuit. I want to read some other comments that you guys are saying. Why would they do this limited series and say it's real if they didn't have proof? Well, Heidi, like if this woman didn't do time behind bars, because listen, if I remember correctly, Martha Scott, the character that was stalking this man, she had a past history of stalking people. So it wasn't like like to put that out there, did Fiona had a history of stalking? Because people are searching the internet and they're not finding a record on this lady. You haven't seen anything? Or you haven't seen it? Okay. It's the biggest blow since Tiger King. Yeah, everybody's talking about this since Tiger King. You said she's a proven liar. Ooh, but by her words? Listen, listen, everybody is talking about it right now, so we're gonna get into it because it's become like a true crime at this point. All of this is like true crime at this point. Hold up.
Baby Reindeer. And so watch how crazy this gets. So
Look.
not only did they find out who Martha is, her name is Fiona Harvey, but they found her old Twitter too. Do you remember this line? But it gets weirder. So she was tweeting this back in 2014.
Oh.
And look at this. She tweeted this all in one day. But if you see this, it gets really weird. She kept talking about all the phones that she had. And she was tweeting about him all the way even in 2016. And even
So the internet found like actual tweets of Fiona, the real Martha, the Martha, since 2016. Look at this, dating back all the way there. This is how people outed her.
but they found her old Twitter too. Do you remember this line? But it gets weirder. So she was tweeting this back in 2014. And look at this. She tweeted this all in one day. But if you see this, it gets really weird. She kept talking about all the phones that she had. And she was tweeting about him all the way even in 2016. And even tweeted on this new account in 2018. Swipe away if you didn't watch Baby Reindeer. And so
that is like, it's crazy. She should change her name. DB, thank you so much for gifting memberships. Please put a heart in the chat if you got a membership from Miss DB. Thank you, love, for supporting my channel. Miss Morris says she could have privated her accounts. She wanted to be found. You think so? You really think she wanted to be found? See, I don't know if she wanted to be found, but now that she has been found, she's going to live this shit up. She's totally going to like live it up and do what she has to do. So let's go ahead and get into it. This is Fiona. We're going to get right to this interview, okay? Hold up. Let me do the intro.
Stalker Martha. The show raises uncomfortable questions about the line between fact and fiction, fantasy and reality. Another innocent man in the television industry has been falsely accused of sexual assault based on one of the storylines in the drama. Well, Fiona Harvey is the woman outed as the real Martha of Baby Reindeer. She's chosen to confirm her identity because she wants to have a right of reply. And so, in her first television interview, she joins me now in the studio. Well, thank you for joining me, Fiona. First of all, why have you decided to go public?
The internet sleuths tracked me down and hounded me and gave me death threats, so it wasn't really a choice. I was forced into this situation.
What do you hope to achieve in this interview?
I came on your show because you're a veteran broadcaster. I think you'll give me a fair hearing. You were persecuted yourself not so long ago, so that's why I've chosen this show.
Have you watched the drama?
That sounds like she did her homework. That's what that sounds like to me. She chose this show because she did her homework. That's what that sounds like to me.
Not at all. I've heard about the court scene, about the jail sentences and all this sort of stuff.
But you really haven't watched any of it?
I haven't watched any of it.
You're not curious to?
No, I think I'm sick. It's taken over enough of my life. I find it quite obscene. I find it horrifying.
So, is it Veneria? Is that how you say your name? Let me know if I said it correctly. You said, I remember seeing Richard, who is the guy who said so many text messages. I mean, he literally acted out the part in his own movie. You said, I remember seeing Richard saying that in real life, he didn't send Martha Fiona to jail. But now I can't find where. Because if that's the case, then this damn thing isn't based on a true story. It's definitely just, you know, puts this woman in a different light. They didn't do a good job on Netflix to hide her out. I don't know. I don't know.
Misogynistic. Some of the death threats have been really terrible online. People phoning me up. You know, it's been absolutely horrendous. I wouldn't give credence to something like that, and it's not really my kind of drama.
When did you know that you were the person being depicted in this?
5 years ago on BBC Breaking News, I saw Mr. Gadd had written a play for the Edinburgh Festival, and he was holding up placards, MP's wife stalker, and all of this, and he'd called it Baby Reindeer. That's all I knew. And I thought, well, I've only met this guy 2 or 3 times. I don't know him.
She says she's only met him 2 or 3 times. How do we go from meeting 2 or 3 times to suddenly 4 phone numbers, 4 different phone numbers, different accounts, 100 and plus emails? See, somebody's not being honest here, right? Like,
And left it at that. I should have possibly jumped into that stage.
And when did you know that Netflix were doing something?
2 weeks ago. I had just moved flats, so it was 2 weeks ago past Saturday.
And how did you hear?
I saw on BBC Breaking News that he'd sold to Netflix, and both he and this character, Martha, this Jessica actress, seemed to be promoting mercilessly.
Did you think then it was you that they were depicting?
I thought it was me they were depicting 5 years ago because of this MP's wife stalker article that had been a number done on me by the Sunday Mail 25 years ago when I was going for Donald Du's parliamentary seat.
Oh, do you hear that? Chico's like, I'm side-eyeing everything. Listen, Fiona's out here letting more information out.
So I had a vague idea then. The Daily Mail then approached me on the Wednesday, 2 weeks ago. So sort of 2 weeks tomorrow, but 2 weeks ago, if you see what I mean.
You said he didn't send her to jail. The legal system did. But okay, but based on what the creator said, based on his situation, he was the one who said that it was essentially the stalking, the accumulation of different things that kind of sent her to jail. So I guess I'm trying to understand. Something happened for her to go, if that's what the Netflix series says. Clara says, stop confusing fact and fiction, Rabbit. Where am I? Clara, come on. Let me know where I'm confusing fact and fiction. Just let me know, okay? Put it in the chat.
And told me that I was getting death threats online, that I'd been outed as Martha. There were TikTok videos. And
were you online at all? Because you were before, but are you these days online?
I've come off Facebook as of yesterday.
Are you on X, what used to be Twitter?
No, I'm not.
You had an account.
Yeah, that's right. Years and years ago. I'm scared to Google up BBC Breaking News. I'm certainly scared to Google up the Daily Mail in case.
No, see, I don't believe that. I think she has been Googling and she's been watching a lot of this. She said, I thought she didn't go to jail at all. Didn't she go at the very end? Something happened to her at the very end where she was gone for a while. She went. You said if you read her current tweets, they were just like the ones in the series. They were. And they actually quoted what they found from the series to the tweets. Sue says, very easy to solve. Get the evidence. I think she's off. She never went to jail, she said. So why did they portray that in the series? In real life, Fiona stalked someone else before the author. She says it was herself. She's at it herself. Clara, didn't I just say that earlier? I said, wasn't there a part where she was supposed to have gotten in legal trouble? I just said that. So I'm trying to understand where I'm mixing fact and fiction. Please clarify. Thank you. It's cringe for sure. It's cringe. She does say her birth name in the interview. She told her birthday. She outed herself to a certain degree, but people kind of figured it out before she outed herself because of the tweets. They found the tweets.
I am on it in some bizarre circus.
That moment you realized it was you that they were depicting from what you were reading. The sleuths, as you say, had found your tweets. They compared some of the phraseology. They'd done the maths and they worked out this was you that was being depicted. How did that make you feel?
Absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. I couldn't believe he'd done that. And so long after first meeting, we're talking 10, 12 years ago, really horrendous. I didn't know who to trust. I was told by the Daily Mail, don't trust those bleeps in Scotland. Whereas I found John Dingwall of the Daily Record completely wonderful, actually. He's acted with total courtesy. I couldn't believe this had happened.
I want to play a little clip. This is just some of the reaction to Baby Reindeer from members of the public.
She ends up becoming this the craziest stalker I ever seen in my life.
And this is all a true story.
This is all a true story, yeah.
See, but I think that's part of the issue, that when they say this is a true story, that's how the audience has taken it. Like Aunt Clara says, no, absolutely not her. She said he didn't send her to the ER to jail. She chose her words very carefully as to not lie. Thank you, Aunt Clara, for that comment. So, but come on now. The way, I will say this, the way she was portrayed, she just wasn't portrayed in the best light, you know? You said, Paul, I believe you. LOL, I just thought no worries. Shout out to you. The tweets are proof he's telling more of the truth than I think, the truth, I think. If she was a man, we wouldn't allow them to lie to us all on a TV interview. Ooh, Leah, you said a mouthful right there. You see, Heidi, people are looking and they haven't found anything. Other than, let me tell you what people have said, because that's where my mind went. All they didn't find any police records. What they found, let me see, because I pulled something. She just got a warning. She never had like a record or a charge or anything like that. And that's where, in my opinion, things got a little bit like questionable. That's just a thought. It says, let me see. Yeah, it means, okay. It means it is a work of fiction that is kind of a true story. If it was the story, then it would be true. Ooh, it's based on a true story, so it doesn't have to be all fact. Also, should be able to look up her arrest record. Amy, that's where we're at. Hey, Selena fan, are records accessible over there like they are in the US? That's a great question. I don't know. The actress, I mean, they did a great job in the portrayal. I mean, they were great actors. Other countries don't allow people to know as much on crimes to the US. That's a good point. The internet never forgets. Everything you type remains on the net, right? You say, yeah, it's a gray area, but the police usually file reports. Okay. You think, okay, see, this is what Miss Morris reads, and I'm kind of there with you, that the jail part might have been dramatized a bit, you know, potentially. But man, I'm just telling you, like, I fell for the character. I'm hoping that not a lot of stuff was dramatized, because what he shared there, he put up a lot of stuff. Like just the sexual assault alone, and watching that, it did a little too much for me. Like not just with Martha, but with the other guy, that I didn't like that part. I had to, I think it was episode 4 where I had to kind of like step away a little bit because it was just too much for me. Comprehension says, I think what she hates is the most about the Netflix series is the choice of actress. She said she basically that the actress is ugly. The voice is spot on. Sounds exactly like her. I know, right? Comprehension. It wasn't the story. It was the actress that she didn't like. You said could be in jail for one of those incidents that was fictionalized. I don't know. Oh my gosh. You said you've watched a few times, but after talking to my 23-year-old daughter that absolutely loves her channel. Oh, well, shout out to you. Thank you for subscribing. Claire says, I'm just saying the movie is not a documentary. So the author is not obligated to tell the historic truth. I know there's a thin line between them. I agree, girl. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I just wanted you to, kind of clarify, because you kind of came for my neck a little bit, but thank you for clarifying.
And they've found the real woman online.
So I assume in the actual thing, they've obviously given her a different name. It's a different woman, but you know what I find? They always manage to find a similar looking woman, and the build tends to be the same.
I have a theory about this, though. I feel like he's done it on purpose because he knew that people would find her and he wants to make her life hell a bit.
Gripped by the
Ooh, okay. Ooh, and I went too far. All right. So he says, I have a theory about this because he knew that the internet would find her, right? And they would give her hell. I kind of agree with that too. I do agree with that.
Always managed to find a similar looking woman, and the build tends to be the same.
I have a theory about this, though. I feel like he's done it on purpose because he knew that people would find her and he wants to make her life hell a bit.
I agree.
When you hear that, what do you think?
The final guy on there, I think is correct. I think he always wanted this to come out, to persecute someone, to take attention away from him and this rape allegation. And I just generally think he's got extreme psychiatric problems.
I mean, there's no doubt he has problems. I mean, if you watch the given that he's written it about himself. If you watch the whole thing as I did, all 5, 6 episodes, whatever it is, he has a lot of problems. He's quite open about that. The question, I guess, which we'll come to, is how much of the way he depicts you is true. And your position is that it's just not factual.
It's a work of fiction. It's a work of hyperbole, as I've always said. And there are 2 true facts in that. His name is Richard Gadd, and he worked as a jobbing barman on benefits in the Holy Arms, and we met 2 or 3 times. Those are the only.
Well, let's go
facts.
back to. Let's go through some of these things. So, you first met him. I mean, the show shows you coming in to a London pub. You've just named the pub. And he's working behind the bar, Richard Gadd, and he offers you a cup of tea. Is that what happened?
No, that's not correct. He didn't offer me a cup of tea. Nobody gets anything free from the Holy Arms. I was in for a meal with a drink of lemonade, and I was very, very hungry. I'm diabetic, so very hungry. So that's.
And did you talk to him?
He interrupted a conversation. There was another barman there, and he said, "Oh, you're Scottish," and basically commandeered the conversation. I was talking to somebody. It's pretty rude to interrupt. So he seemed to be obsessed with me.
Do you notice how she's detailing this? She is very detailed about things like that. And so when she's talking to Piers Morgan about certain things that she can't remember or having a photograph memory, for whatever reason, this happened 3 or 4 years ago. You know how many people I've met and I don't really remember this shit? Unless of course they're stalking me, that might be a little bit different, right? But just the detail to this, but not the detail to other things. You said Vic, I kind of agree with you. I don't see them not being able to cover themselves on this. Let's see. I agree. This is also based off his perspective. That's a good point. Like, that's the other side to this. What we're being presented is his perspective. I'm not saying his perspective is not valued, but if you look at, there was one part in there where his love interest, right, was telling him, I think you're kind of enjoying some of this, because otherwise you would have put a stop to this at some point. I'm just kind of wondering, like, did he do enough to cover his bases in terms of this to feel like this could have come out later on? Like, I don't know, y'all. To hire an actress that looks exactly like her, because she does speaks exactly like her, everything, you're just like, that there's no way to it. And then those tweets are still out there. I don't know. I don't know. But it's his perspective. We don't know what her perspective. For all we know, and I hate to put, she could have been led on. She could have been, it could have been something else. We don't know. Things like that do happen. Kim says, I'm not quite sure what her issue is. She read the script. It was also more. She didn't know about this, I don't think, until it dropped. He said Netflix has Netflix money and she will exhaust her resources trying to sue them when it's based on what they never used her name and her adaptations were made. You said Pierce better watch out. That's what everybody was saying. Rabbit, she shouldn't be free to walk the streets. The title of this video is wild, right? Yeah. Yeah. She hasn't read I don't even think she was aware of this, Kim, that she wasn't consulted for this whatsoever. She came out because people figured out who she was.
From that moment onwards.
I mean, just speaking to you, I never met you before, but you do look and sound very similar to the actress in the drama.
She does.
The actress. We're both Scottish. We've both got dark hair. She's considerably younger than me. I think she's about 18 years younger than me.
Did she just say I haven't seen the actress, and then she starts making comparison about how she doesn't look like the actress?
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 58. I'm a year younger than you. And I think Martha, Jessica, the actress, is about 40, 38, 40.
It says in the show that you...
And she knows Martha, Jessica. Jessica's the actress. Martha is the character name.
You proceeded to return to the same pub time and again, but you never paid for a drink.
I don't drink alcohol. And
did you pay for anything that you had?
Lemonade or soft drink.
Would he give you free drinks? Or?
No, absolutely not. This is sort of a depiction of me as a pauper who wouldn't stand around or stand a drink. It's nonsense.
It says that you told Richard Gadd that he looked like a baby reindeer toy you once had as a child, hence the name of the show.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I appear to have written most of the show in my sleep. I dressed
Did you have a baby reindeer?
I had a toy reindeer.
So that's true.
And he shaved his head. That bit is true. And there were reindeers in the shops. It was Christmas time or something. It was a joke. So I have inadvertently penned the name of the show.
Right, but that is true.
That's true. That's a true fact.
Whilst bantering with you, Richard Gadd told you he'd like to hang your curtains. Is that true?
This, I think, was a holy arms joke about curtains and a lot of sexual innuendo.
He did say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it true that you caught Richard Gadd looking through your window after he followed you home one day?
False.
You never saw him at your house?
I didn't see him at my house. I think it would be impossible to look through a window.
Did anyone else ever see him there? No. So as far as you were concerned, he never turned up at your...
And that was a piece of the movie. Y'all, if you watched it, there was a scene where he decides to like follow her, right? Oh, you found it? Oh my God. Here, send it to me right here, okay? Hold up. There was a scene in the movie where he looks through her window and she's like in front of a computer or whatever. Send it to me right here, please, and thank you, love. Thank you. You saw that part? So maybe this wasn't her. Maybe I don't know, y'all. It's just a very intense story that maybe some of it was based on a true story and some of it wasn't. Like the parts that are false were not based on a true story. Yeah, she's heating the microwave food and she got her dinner tray. Like she got a little dinner table where she puts her computer and she hears him. And she looks outside and she realized that it's him. And it was really weird. And he runs to the other side. I don't know.
Place.
Correct.
But the Netflix show has him doing that.
Yes, I believe so. I've been told that.
But that categorically didn't happen.
That categorically didn't happen.
In the course of your relationship with Richard Gadd, you sent him 41,000 emails, 350 voice messages, 744 tweets.
Look at this.
48 Facebook messages, and 106 letters.
That's simply not true. If somebody was sending somebody 41,000 emails or something, they'd be doing how many a day? Lots.
Well, it'd be obsessively.
Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
What did you send him?
None of that's true. I don't think I sent him anything.
You never sent him anything?
No. I think there may have been a couple of emails exchanging, but that was it. Just jokey banter emails.
Netflix have said that these details are the real ones. That this is exactly
completely incorrect.
So you're denying sending anything to him?
There may have been a couple of emails.
Text messages?
No.
Facebook messages?
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Did you tweet him?
Hold up.
I may have done years and years ago.
You actually tweeted him.
This is the part where this is a bold-faced lie, okay? She went from she only met him 3 or 4 times during the time that she's like 3 or 4 times. How 3 or 4 times from a bar. How the hell did she get his email? How did she get his email to then email him a couple times? Who does that? I mean, Daddy's baby girl's like, the lady's not telling the truth. The lady's not. You said that. That's what we're trying to figure out. Yeah, she was like, look, 0 emails to no 3 to 4 times. Oh, you'll see that. Like you got to go back, and you're like, this was a guy I only saw 3 or 4 times. So now you're emailing him. I don't email somebody that I meet 3 or 4 times. I really don't. Yeah, they got to get the body expert on this one right here. They have to. I cannot, yo. You said she definitely did it and it wasn't the first time? Well, shout out to, I just got your email, love. Shout out to you. And I got the little article. And I'm going to read this to you guys real quick. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Let me zoom in. Let's zoom in. Okay, it says, he had mixed feelings about even going to the police. I felt a great deal of empathy for the real life Martha. This is the guy, right? Richard. He says, I didn't want to throw someone who was that level of mentally unwell in prison. So, okay. In the show, she receives 9 months in prison and 5 years restraining order after Gadd's trawls through her messages to prove she was a threat. In real life, he can't say too much about the real Martha other than it is resolved. After his shows, Richard received messages from others who were stalked, and he advised them to speak to the charities We Are Survivors and the Susie Lampa Trust. He thinks men in general find it harder to find help. I would agree with that. Um, so based on that alone, she never went to jail. But that was never corrected. I think where I feel kind of like bad and a little bit duped, first of all, because if you think about, we talk about women and stalking, we don't talk about men and sexual assaults and sexual abuse and, rape. We don't talk about men going through these things like stalking and stuff like that. Like, what really captivated me about Baby Reindeer is that it gave a perspective of a man trying to go to a police station and not be able to seek help because nobody believes him, or they felt, or the officers felt like, you must have done something, or why are you taking so long to report this? That's the shit that really got to me about the story. So if that really didn't happen, where he didn't actually go to the police, I'm not saying that there's no value in his story, but I'm saying, like, we were duped in thinking that this woman actually went to prison. Like, at least I was, right? It doesn't whatsoever bring up a takeaway from his experience. I just feel bad because there's so many men out there that don't report crimes that happen to them, right? They don't. They don't report. So this right here, I guess I'm just a little thrown off by this, but thank you so much for sharing that article. Yeah, that would be poor choice. Right, Susie Q. Like, I feel some type of way about that. You're right. Misogyny goes both ways. Men can be so awful to themselves due to society's expectations. I love your comment, Cosmic. I really do. I feel like yeah, you're right. 'Cause crimes still get reported. They don't. Some men don't report crimes that happen to them. Stephanie says she is not a victim. I don't necessarily see her as a victim, but at the same time, I'm trying to figure out, is she now a victim given that she's been exposed? Um, where do you guys land with this? And like I said, I love having the conversation. I'm neither here nor there. I kind of want to know what you guys think.
Numerous times.
No, it wasn't numerous. It was about 18 tweets there or 14.
It's quite a lot
tweets.
for someone who's not that well known.
But we were all friends. It was banter.
Right, but it establishes
Yeah.
you were contacted. That's in public.
Yes, I mean this.
Did you write him letters?
Public, no. I think when I saw the rape interview, that's actually incorrect. What I said there, when I saw that in the Guardian, I said, "What a shame! It's not your fault." Something
You
like
did
that.
write to him.
One later.
So you would say you only
One letter. Like, she says a little bit but doesn't say a lot, then says a little bit but doesn't say a lot. She wasn't adjudicated. She was never anything.
only sent him a handful of emails. You never texted him.
No.
You tweeted him 18 times, you think. You never sent a Facebook message.
That's
and you
right.
wrote him one letter.
Yeah.
So why have they got all these details here which are supported?
Who is they? Netflix.
Who has sent all
Not
these things?
correct. So I'm sorry.
Who has sent all this stuff to him?
I have no idea. I think he's probably made it up himself.
Oh.
I mean, you could prove, I guess, quite easily it wasn't you.
Correct.
Because it'd all be on your computer.
Yeah, correct. That's right.
Would you be happy for someone to look at that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
What do you have? What technology do you use?
Right. What technology do I use? A very, very old smartphone just now, because the other one packed up a week before moving. That's it.
Because they're all sent from an iPhone.
Yes. So
they believe it wasn't actually an iPhone ever being used.
Meaning
that someone was hiding the fact that they were actually not using it. They were pretending it was from an iPhone.
I don't really understand that.
Well, people can mask where they're sending stuff from.
Okay, right. I'm not Technology Whiz Kid of the Year. I wasn't doing that either.
Oh, I mean, but listen. See, I'm not believing that bullshit right there. If you can handle an iPhone, you can handle most things. Laura says, as far as I know, she exposed herself. Richard didn't tell who she was. No, he didn't. And she put it on Twitter. But let me ask y'all something, okay? You think she's... Ooh, Erin's coming in. I'm not going to diagnose the lady because I don't know too much about her. I think we do have to be a little bit careful. But you guys, the movie that's based on a true story is from the perspective of Richard, right? not her perspective. If she had to do a movie, how would she tell her story? If she had the opportunity to give her side of the story, how would she tell it? That I'm also kind of caught up on this, right? Being able to see kind of both coins. Amy says, would the producers of Piers Morgan investigate the jail thing before the interview? That's a great question, Amy. Even with embellishments, the way she was portrayed seemed pretty fair given her online behavior. You think that the online behavior matches what we're seeing right now? I mean, is she gonna deny that those accounts on Twitter don't belong to her? Like, is she gonna say those are not my accounts? That's another Fiona Harvey from 2016. No, no, no. No, no, no. You said I definitely missed the opportunity to sign my email with my iPhone. Okay. Kitty says, "Oh my God, I didn't know, but her side would be so good to see." Right? Like, what's her side? Kim's like, "Facts ain't defamation." No, they're not. Oh, you're right. You're right.
I mean, obviously, when you make such an emphatic denial of the central
Mhm.
point of the story,
Mhm.
you're basically accusing both him but also Netflix of lying about
I
it.
am.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty defamatory.
It's not defamatory if it's true.
No, it's defamatory that they've been to
Oh,
you.
I'm sorry. Yes, I misunderstood there. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I don't see how anyone could do 41,000 emails and all this kind of stuff, you know.
I don't know how much you know about technology, but are you aware that if it was you sending those emails, it would be very easy for the police, for example, to
Yep.
work out exactly where they come from? The IP address would
Yeah,
reveal
yes,
that.
I understand that. And it's
Wait, what was the number of emails? And even that many emails, it wasn't enough for Richard to get any kind of restraining order if he wanted to back in the day. Now, if that was back in the day, just imagine the emails that are currently being sent to these folks if she's doing it.
stays on forever. But the point is, this was years and years ago. We were congratulating him.
But it would all still be there.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand that. Yeah.
And if you sent 41,000 emails,
This is just a lot of rubbish. Yeah, so that should be stored there.
well, they'd all be there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got them.
I mean, that would break somebody's email. Are you kidding me? Jordy T says, I didn't email him, but I did. I didn't write him a letter, but I did. Jordy is not having it. Look at y'all. Can you all imagine? Now, I don't know, yo. I don't know what to say.
He's not got 41,000 emails. That's over a year.
Well, good to you.
How
There's
long
only,
would
there's
that
only a
take?
handful.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, how long would that take someone to type up?
How many do you
41?
think you sent him?
A handful.
Like
If
what
that.
does that mean? How many?
A handful.
Listen, 10.
10 emails.
Not 41,000.
Right, there's a massive disparity between the two.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I mean, if
It was only, I mean, we didn't just see all of the tweets on Twitter, right? I don't know. I don't know what to say. You said, plus she could have dyed her hair for this interview. Why are you criticizing her? Hey, let the lady be. Listen, I ain't trying to get on anybody's bad side. We already got a lot of obsessed people online after us. We don't need a Martha Scott after. I'm just saying, we don't need that. We don't need that, okay?
if it's not you that sent all this, then clearly Martha cannot be you.
Yes, Martha cannot be me because there are a number of allegations that have been put to me by journalists that are simply not true. There's a whole play. It's not just the emails. There's a sexual assault in the canal.
Yeah, but if Martha's not you, then is it really defamation?
There's
But if
also
the police looked at this and if you sue, for example, then this will go to a court of law. And then on discovery, people will look into all this. The phone company will be asked about evidence of all the text messages. The internet providers will provide all the backup for the emails. Facebook will be asked about the Facebook messages and so on. So all of this would come out in a court case.
in disclosure, yes.
And you're prepared to do that.
Yes. Because I didn't write in the emails.
Who do you think
I
did?
have no idea. I think he probably made them up himself. I've no idea.
No, but see, Miss Morris Reed here said a very good point. And what's so interesting, if you watch Baby Reindeer, the emails are literally just like little sentences, They're not very long. It wasn't like she was writing long emails. It was just like maybe one or two, almost like text messages or little paragraph text messages. So you're right, Miss Morris Reed. That's a good point. Jennifer, is it Hayachi? Says the only thing I know is that the police doesn't usually give it about stalking complaints. My own parents are stalking me and I can't get a restraining order. Oh, Jesus.
41,000 emails.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
would you accept that someone who did that would be very obsessive about someone?
Yes. I mean, that's a lot of emails. And why now? Why didn't you go to the police at the time?
That's a good point.
It sort of doesn't make sense.
I mean, the fact that Netflix have said this is based on reality, this is a true story, that Martha did, the real life Martha, the person they based this on, who Richard Gadd has written about, is the person that sent these. And he has the evidence to prove it. What you're saying is that proves you cannot be Martha.
Yes, and I would like to see Netflix's evidence for that, which would come out in disclosure as well.
And you're 100.
I mean, isn't that what didn't we see Netflix evidence to a certain degree? Wasn't it what they produce? Cosmic says, me too. I have a lot of unopened emails. How many email accounts does everybody have? I had to think about this one. I got I got at least 5 email accounts, honestly. 5 email accounts, and that's because it's almost like you had to get email, like when you get a new device, I'm trying to figure out why I have so many email accounts between Gmail, and then you have your Apple products, and then I have a business email for my channel. Like, these are emails that I have, right? I don't know if I need 5, and I don't use all of them, but I was thinking about that. Laurel, thank you so much. Oh my God, Laurel has been a member for 30 months. Are you freaking kidding me? Girl, you're one of my day ones. Shout out to you, and thank you for supporting me. You have been with me through a lot, and I know it because I've seen it from the very first time I started. Thank you so much for being a member for 30 freaking months. Thank you. Thank you. Connie, thank you for the $2. Can't chat without choosing this route suggestions. What do you mean, Connie? You can't chat? Did you subscribe? Should be able to chat. Let me know, Connie. I'm sorry that you're not able to chat. Exactly, Rabbit. If it's not her, how can she be claimed defamation, right? You said, I wonder if she got the carpal tunnel from all that typing. That's a lot of typing. That's a lot of short sentence typing. You said the British press hasn't found any evidence that she has ever been charged or convicted of any crime. That's the part. So is it really defamation? I don't know. Does she have a case? Well, let me just say this. I think she might have had a case had she not come out and spoken. She might have had a case then. I don't know if she has a case now. She says, I like how she says, I didn't watch the show. Yeah, how does she know all this information if she didn't watch the show? Hold up. Let me see what you guys are saying. She doesn't talk like a lawyer. I don't even know. I don't think she's a lawyer. See, I love you. Everybody's putting their emails. You got 3. I think I have 5. You only have 3, 2. You say you got 5. I got 5. I don't know how, but I got 5. And usually they come with like a product. You got 5 or 6. See, Persephone, I don't feel so bad. Thank you. Thank you. Now I don't feel weird having 5. Shout out to you. Hold up. Let me see. If you sign up for services, typically there's like an email, or you sign up for some shit. It's so hard not to get like an email attached to it. Stop. Are they related? Justin, get out of my chat. Get out of my chat with that BS. And it turns out they're related. Dun, dun, dun. Stop. You won't get me in trouble, man. I already got the trolls after me. You need to stop.
% sure it's not you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It goes on to say that you heckled Richard Gadd when he was appearing in his stand-up shows. Did you ever do that?
No.
Never.
No,
Did you ever attend his stand-up?
I think I went to one. It was a long, long time
And you
ago.
never shouted out or anything?
Why would I do that?
I don't know.
No. I mean,
Do you
why would
ever
anybody do
shout
that?
out at comedy shows? I don't know.
So the guy was a comedian or is a comedian, and initially she's like, I only met him 3 or 4 times. Now she's saying I only went to one of them. Did she heckle him at his show? Ooh.
Oh, no, I don't generally go to comedy shows.
So
But
you
no.
never heckled him?
No.
Did you ever attack Richard Gadd's girlfriend because you were jealous?
No, I don't think he had a girlfriend. I think he's homosexual. But no, I have never been to his house or attacked any girlfriend or anything like that.
There are lots of scenes where Martha is sitting outside his house all day for many days, sitting in a bus stop, sitting out there, walking around, and would occasionally shout at him. Did you ever do that?
No, I haven't seen the show, but I'm getting.
I have. So
I got all the court allegations.
Look I was thinking about this too. There's a couple of scenes where Martha is literally sitting outside the bus stop. Give me one sec, y'all. And she's sitting outside the bus stop, and it's raining, cold, and she's out there. How come we never got a picture of her? Like if this was happening in 2016, don't we all got like I would be listen, I would be taking pictures of anybody that's stalking me outside of my house. That's the piece where I'm like, you got pictures to prove? You got pictures to prove that he never well, I mean, and I know he doesn't want to out her, but that would be one of my questions to Richard. Richard, you got pictures of this? What's going on, Richard? You said if you haven't seen the show, how do you know what's true or what's not? Vic, everybody's guessing. I bet you everybody's gonna go watch it now. I bet you. I bet you.
The trial allegations.
I'm going to come to that. But on that
yeah.
point, did you ever turn up at his house?
No, I don't know. I don't know where he lived. No, absolutely not.
So whoever's doing all this is somebody completely different.
This is a fictional character, hyperbole, exaggeration. This is a fiction
Well, it's based on
of his imagination.
They say it's based on a real person.
Who's they? Netflix.
Well, Netflix and Richard Gadd.
Netflix are about as mad as Richard Gadd. If they're saying that, it's absolutely not correct.
Did you ever contact Richard Gadd's parents and threaten them?
No, that allegation was put to me by journalists. No.
Never happened.
No.
There's one key point in the drama that has.
She said the allegations were put to me by journalists. Spit clear water. There was something you said here in your comment. Never described as a documentary or ID'd anyone. Said details were changed and implored web sleuths stop looking for her. He did. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. He told people y'all need to stop looking. Did they stop? No. Did anybody ever listen to anybody here online? Like, let's be real, they don't. They don't. They don't. You said someone who only waited on me at a restaurant 3 times isn't someone I'd email, tweet, text, or know his personal life or attend comedy shows. I just for what? You like you're right. You're right on that one. Connie, thank you for becoming a member for 2 months. Shout out to you. All right, hold up, y'all. She doesn't know where he lives, but she sends him one letter. Did she mail it to the pub? Do you see how like it's like the onion is being peeled, and then we're just picking up on things here and there, picking up on things. We don't have any police reports. We don't. You said this woman is dangerous? I don't know, y'all.
Martha's character pleading guilty to intimidating Richard Gadd in court and sentenced to 9 months prison time. Let's watch.
You're charged with the stalking of Mr. Donald Dunn between the dates of the 14th of August 2015 and the 22nd of March 2017. Are you guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
You were charged with the harassment of Gerald Dunn and Eleanor Dunn between the dates of the 6th of June 2016 and the 22nd of March 2017. Are you guilty or not guilty?
Look at her face, you guys. Hold up. Let me disappear. Look at her face as she's watching the character act like her. Girl, what is going on here? What is going on? It says it's called Inspired by True Events. So the jail part could be that. That's true. Oh my days, you're absolutely right. But look at her face as she's watching that character. Yo, look at her face. Look at her face. Y'all see that? Listen, Fiona's not happy. Fiona is not, she is not blinking. She looks mad as fuck. No, she's not. Y'all need to stop. You said Stephanie's like, something's up. Listen, listen, look at her face. I'm telling you, that's that. Lest we forget. This is that Bunny Boiler movie, y'all. Don't be boiling rabbits while you're watching this damn movie, okay? Just keep that in mind. Y'all see that?
Guilty. A little reindeer.
Now, again, there is obviously a.
Oh, that was quick. She went straight to Piers. Look, the actress did a great job, by the way. Like, did a very great job. Yeah, listen, get the behavioral panel. Can y'all tweet this to the behavioral panel and say, listen, go watch this and analyze all of this right here. It needs to be. It needs to be.
Resemblance between.
Do you think so?
But
Hardly flattery.
Well, I don't mean to flatter you or not flatter you. I just think there is a resemblance, having met you, and you're both speaks Scottish people. But the fundamental point of this is: did you take part in that? Did you go to jail? Did you have a
No,
trial?
of course not. Of course not.
Have you ever been to prison?
No.
Have you ever been charged with a
Nowhere
criminal
near it.
offence?
No.
Never.
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
So that scene is completely
That's
invented.
completely false, and I don't think the actress sounds like me. I mean, people compare me to Lorraine Kelly, but I look nothing like Lorraine Kelly. We all happen to have dark hair, and we're Scottish. You know, I think the actress is from Glasgow, I think, but I'm not sure.
But and which part of Scotland are you from?
I'm from the Central Belt.
So it's a slightly different accent.
It's slightly different.
A Scot.
You said liar.
Scot would know the difference. A Glasgow accent is very different.
But that's a fundamental point here, because if they basically have a key point in their drama, which they say is a true story, which involves you admitting to intimidating Richard Gadd and getting a 9-month prison sentence, and that is completely untrue.
That's completely untrue. Very, very defamatory to me. Very career damaging. I wanted to rebut that completely on this show. I'm not a stalker. I've not been to jail. I've not got injunctions, interdicts. This is just complete nonsense. But it's, I mean, you'll know yourself, if you're charged with a criminal offence, it will go fine, bigger fine, whatever. Very few people go to jail.
Well, you have a police record
nowadays.
Yeah. Have you ever changed your name?
My surname was double barreled.
What was it?
Muir Harvey. So Muir Harvey. When
M-U-I-R.
Yes.
Harvey.
When I got when the parents got divorced, I changed it to Harvey. I just dropped.
So your maiden name when you were born was?
Yeah, that's right.
Was
Muir. Yes.
Muir Harvey.
Yeah.
So that's not quite like.
Has the internet confirmed that she's an actual lawyer? Like, do we know that she actually practiced law? Because, like, isn't that easy to confirm? Do we know if that's actually? I just don't know. I don't know. Destiny says Netflix has a history of doing shady-ish, so I don't know who to believe.
Unusual name.
Yeah.
So if you'd ever received a criminal conviction for anything, it would be on police files.
Yes.
And what you're saying is you've never been even charged with an offence.
No.
Let alone the one that they.
Yes, I mean, this is 9.5 months in jail. Is pretty serious.
Did Netflix ever contact you?
No, no one's contacted me.
Never.
Never.
Did Richard?
The Queen Virgo says, me and my husband watched this over the weekend. Now I'm hearing, I heard that she's like, who is she stalking? What journalist? Y'all know? If you know it, please send it to me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a little, I'm going to do a debunking of her lies. And I'll probably do it like as an upload. I'll probably upload it this weekend. I want to know what journalist. If y'all know, please email me. If you're watching this on the replay, please email me because I'm very curious. You said her conviction is the only thing about the show that seems hard to confirm. Everything else, though. Yeah, Piers is handsome to do this. Well, is Piers the journalist? I didn't. My question is, the play has been out for a while. Why? Wasn't there a play about this? And now she's coming for the Netflix, maybe because of Reach. The Reach. Hey, Kate. I'll be interested to see if Netflix pays her. I don't think they will. I think Netflix will not do that. But that's just my thoughts. I could be wrong, y'all. I could be wrong.
Should Gadd tell you what he was doing?
No, I had worked it out when I saw the festival Baby
for sure,
Reindeer
Heidi.
advert on BBC.
The Edinburgh Festival, which is the show you did.
I just happened to see that. I was looking up the news for something else.
Because that's where he.
I just happened to see that.
Well, that's where he started telling the story, and that got picked up.
I'm shocked. And I think Martha then was a bar stool. I seem to recall reading that. It wasn't an actress or a person, it was a bar stool.
Let me just show a little clip. This is from Lorraine, actually, who you just compared yourself to. But let's take a look at this.
What other people do.
This is Richard Gadd on Lorraine.
I just thought it was the right time to sort of try and bring a nuanced conversation to something. I think the human condition is extremely complicated, and I felt like a lot of the art and TV in this day and age had maybe simplified it too much.
It's not a villain and victim storyline. I think you're left with a lot more than that. It's kind of two lost people.
That's her, y'all. The actress that played Martha did I don't know, like, she's a great actress. I'm just give her that.
What's your response to that?
I think they're milking it for all it's worth for the money. She doesn't even sound Scottish in that interview. Her accent seems to be varying.
Well, she's not. She's English. She's an actress.
I was going to say it sounds more Lancashire to me. Yeah,
no, she's English. She's an actress. She's putting on the voice for you.
They're milking it for all they're worth. It's the right time to abuse someone all over social media and all over, basically somebody who's not from Loveyland, not from Theatreland, just abuse me all over the newspapers. They're happy with themselves.
What do you feel about Richard Gadd?
I think he's psychotic, and I think that anyone going along, being in that play and doing this to somebody, I find the behaviour outrageous.
Yes.
If what Richard is saying is true, of all those events that, clearly there's a lot of events that didn't happen, like her incarceration. If any of that is true as far as like the physical touching, I'm sorry, y'all. Like that, when I saw that, I had a physical reaction to it. I had to like log off. Like I had to skip over that part because it was just too intense. Thanks, Love Virgo. If you can, that'd be awesome. And thank you so much. I think his name, based on what Clearwater put in the chat, is it Neil Sears? Let me know. I'll look it up. But if you guys want to email me some stuff, I'm gonna do a debunking because that'll be fun to do. I love to debunk. I like debunking things. If y'all haven't picked up on that, I would think that Netflix has lawyers. Yeah, they would. And I have a feeling that I just don't think that there's anything she can sue for. I hate to say it. Like if she had not come out or said anything, maybe. But now that she's identified herself and then she's saying that they're defaming me, but not really, like I'm confused by this. They're gonna tear her ass up with this interview if it ever. I mean, just look what she says.
He says the whole thing started because he felt sorry for you, and that's why he befriended you.
Your staff said that to me in the waiting room. This is a lot of nonsense. I've got lots of friends.
What did you talk to him about?
It was just Holly Ann's banter. It was
like what? What kind of thing?
What you're going to do with your life, or career stuff. Sort of. And I thought he was a stand-up show.
But is it possible he was under the impression that he felt sorry for you?
No, I never got that impression at all. I got the impression that he was all out for himself, wanted to sort of control that bar, very, very inarticulate, very full of himself.
For somebody that only met him a couple of times, 3 or 4 times, I mean, I guess you could pick that up, but like, look how she talks about him. Mel says, Piers said Fiona lied to me quite a lot in the interview. If her threatening legal action goes ahead, I suspect it will quickly merge. She did send all those emails, messages, and letters to him. Look, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. Okay, it's intense. Let me know if you have not watched it and you're like, Rabbit, I'm going to go watch it. And then I'm going to come back and give some comments to this. No, they don't lie, oh my days. They don't. They don't. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm going to have to let you guys go. But I am going to do a debunking, an upload where I can match what she says, match to what she wrote. That's going to be fun for me. I like to debunk certain things like that. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. And should Piers Morgan now be careful? Because I think she could listen. She could go over there and say something to him too. I think he needs to be careful too. I really do. I do. But I don't think he seems too worried about it. I thought he did a great job in the interview for the most part. But I don't know. And also, there's 2 sides to every story, right? Please note that the baby reindeer is Richard's side of the situation. We don't know what Martha's side is, right? So keep in mind. Keep in mind. All right, guys. I will see. You should all be careful, y'all. Y'all 500 people in here, be careful. Be careful, okay? Be careful. All right, I will see you guys on the next one. Guys, take care. Have a great night. Rabbits out. Bye, guys.